Hello guys, it is me Jamie. Welcome to another reading vlog. So today I want to do something really exciting. Basically I want to do a 24-hour readathon. If you saw my last 24-hour readathon, what I did is I had the whole like timer situation on my phone where I like timed the actual times that I was reading. So I was reading for a total of 24 hours, which I think just meant that I read so much more. It was a bit of a fail because it took me like literally 4 days. However, we're gonna try it again. Like no distractions whatsoever. Like let's just knuckle down and do it. This time is gonna be Halloween themed and we're gonna be reading only scary books. And I am so excited. I haven't picked out a TBR yet. I feel like we're gonna do that together. It's currently 11:39, so it's nearly midday. And I have a bunch of stuff to do today, just like work-wise. But we're going to read scary books together. I'm going to start in the afternoon and then just try and read for as much as possible. I have so many thrillers, so many horror books on my TBR that I really want to read. So that's what we're going to do. I hope you enjoyed the video and let's get straight into it. Hello. Okay, so it is 2:45 in the afternoon. I have finished my work and I'm about to set the timer and get to reading. I've come to my boyfriend's apartment because he's actually away for the week, and so I thought, what's scarier than like being alone? There's actually a lot of things scarier. I love being alone personally, but I'm like, at my house there's so many people that live there and it's like, I kind of want to be alone. Like I feel like that's the scariest vibe. And then also with the timer, like no distractions, hello. Before I start, I wanted to quickly talk through my TBR for the readathon. So I have some books from home that I'm going to read, but first of all, I am in the middle of this book, Night Bitch, which is a horror novel. If you haven't seen my most recent reading vlog, basically this is a horror about a woman who has become a new mother. She is the mother of a small like young boy and she turns into a dog. I don't know what the metaphor is, maybe female rage, I don't know, but I'm up to like literally part 2, so I'm on page 89 and at this stage she is now a dog. Like she's literally now a dog. I feel like this will be a nice quick read just to finish during the 24-hour readathon. I do really want to finish this, and it is really weird and speculative and I am actually enjoying it. I wasn't like super enjoying it when I first like started it, but now that I'm like fully in it, I'm like, oh wait, this is just quite funny and fun. I'm not sure if it's gonna get scary, even though it has been described as a horror. There's a quote on the back that just says, "Feral, unholy. Night Bitch is an incredible feat." I would love to be described as feral and unholy, and in fact I think I probably have in the past, but I do want to finish this. Even though it's not scaring me, it's like I want to read it. I want to read it. And then I brought 3 books from home. So I have, first of all, The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. This is a horror, no idea what it's about. Oh, I think it's like nature taking revenge on white people stealing land. So this sounds very interesting and I do really want to read this. Definitely like horror vibes. And then I have 2 thrillers. So I have The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. I wanted to read this last week and never got around to it. Lucy Foley just writes very digestible thrillers. I hated The Hunting Party, but I loved The Guest List. So this is her 3rd novel and I'm interested to see what happens. I've heard really good things about it and I think this is going to be the one that I start with, purely because I am in an apartment. Whoa, crazy. So crazy. I don't know, I'm alone in an apartment, why not? But yeah, no idea what this is about, but I do want to start it, and starting with like an easy nice thriller I feel like is a good vibe. And then I also have this one, The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson. I just quickly read the back of this and basically this is about a man, his flight gets delayed, he's at the airport and then he meets this woman and they confess their dark secrets about like the people that they hate, and then I think maybe they team up and like decide to murder them. So if it is from the perspective of like murderers, I'm so here for that. So yeah, these are the 4 books that I have on my physical TBR for the readathon. But if you saw my last 24-hour readathon where I did the timer, I read so much more than I was anticipating. So we're gonna quickly go through my Kindle and see what horrifying scary books I have on here as well. We have a YA horror on here called The Devil Makes 3 by Tori Bovalino. I believe this is about a haunted library and this girl like accidentally summons a demon from the books. That just sounds fun and easy. I feel like a nice little like YA horror if I'm getting really scared when it's nighttime and no one's here. A nice YA horror might, you know, keep me awake and like you know, comfort me a little. I have a thriller that I literally bought on Kindle for no money. It was free and I just downloaded it. It's called One of the Girls by Lucy Clark. I believe it's about like a girl's trip gone wrong. This is like another mystery thriller, like someone dies on their little gal trip away. Could be keen to read that. Like I said, digestible thrillers are my favorite. Oh my god, I have this book. I'm sure you guys have seen people talking about it. It's part of the series called the Mindfuck series by St. Abbey. I didn't know what it was like, and I was like, okay, that cover looks disgusting. But the first book is on Kindle Unlimited. It's called The Risk, and someone in my comments recently said that I would really love it because it's about a murderer, like this woman who is a serial killer, but then she falls in love with the detective, the private investigator who's investigating all of her like murders. Sorry, but I really want to read that. I really want to read that for this readathon. I just feel like that sounds so up my alley. It sounds so unhinged and I'm so here for it. And then I also have another YA horror called The Taking of Jake Livingston by Ryan Douglas. No idea what this is about, but I know it's like a YA horror. It was quite big around this time last year. I feel like a lot of people were reading it. Not sure if I'll pick this one up, but like it's there if I want to. And that's it. Those are all my like spooky books. I have some other like random ass thrillers on here, but we'll see what happens. Let's start reading. Like I said before, I'm going to start with The Paris Apartment. We're going to set the timer now. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I actually need to stop that because I need to start reading first. Anyway, all right. We're gonna start the timer. I'll let you know when it's been like an hour or if I have anything to say about the book. Let's go. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Hello guys. So it is 10 to 5 p.m. and I'm officially at 1 hour of the 24-hour readathon, and I'm on page 112 of The Paris Apartment. So I've read 112 pages in 1 hour. Basically, the plot of this book is there's this guy Ben. He rents a room in this really fancy apartment building in Paris, and he's English, and his half sister Jess has like come to visit him, but when she arrives she can't find him, like he's nowhere to be seen. And then there's all these like little weird clues that kind of indicate that like something has happened to him, like something bad has happened to him. And so she's just trying to figure out where her brother is, like why he's gone missing. So she's doing that by like interviewing some people based on the clues that she has found in the apartment, and then also the other residents of the apartment, including the concierge, which is this old woman who has lived like in a little cabin outside the apartment for ages. It's told in first person, but like a bunch of different perspectives. So Jess is our main character. We hear from her the most because she's doing all the investigating, but then also we hear from each person that lives in the apartment, and it just seems like everyone's got secrets. Jess is running from something. That's why she's in Paris visiting Ben, because she's running from something back home in London. And then all the other like residents of this apartment, they have their secrets, and they also have a reason to have like intense feelings about Ben, whether that be like fascination or hatred, or yeah, there's like an old woman, a younger woman, Ben's best friend, and then this other like drunk guy, this alcoholic dude who we actually haven't heard a chapter from yet. So far it's pretty good. Like I'm really engaged. I want to know what happened, and I have no idea what's going to happen. I haven't put together any pieces yet, which is actually one of my favorite things about mystery thrillers. I haven't managed to put together any pieces. I'm just as confused as Jess is. I will say I don't trust one character called Nick. He's like Ben's best friend and like the reason that like Ben is living in the apartment. But for some reason I don't trust him. Like the author's been too nice to him like so far. Like he's been described as good looking. He's quite like normal, whereas everyone else isn't like super normal, and I feel like because of that I don't trust him. Like he seems too squeaky clean. Yeah, it's so far really engaging and really fun. There is one little thing that Lucy Foley's doing though that is a little bit for me. So like the chapters are so short and they're so easily digestible, like so easy to consume, but like there are a bunch of chapters that will like end with a cliffhanger. There was one where Jess was like, a man is coming towards me and then I see a sharp glimmer of silver like by his sleeve. It's like hinting that she's about to be fucking stabbed or something. And then literally the next chapter, which is still from Jess's perspective, would be like, oh, it was just his iPhone. Not really on the edge of my seat, babe. Like, it's giving Goosebumps. It's giving the Goosebumps series. So I feel like stuff like that is just a little bit juvenile. Like it's a little bit like, I'm reading this, it's like page 30. I'm like, I know she's not about to be stabbed on page 30. Like it's our main character. Like just tell me that he's bringing out an iPhone. And I get that it's trying to be atmospheric, but it's not giving me the scares. It's kind of giving me giggles. But yeah. So far not scary, just engaging, but I'm just gonna keep reading. I'm not even gonna take a break. I'm just gonna start the timer again and keep reading because I'm very invested in this and I want to know what happens. Hello besties, update time. Oh, the lighting's not very spooky looking, is it? Let me change this really quickly. Does that just look kind of sexual? Or does it look scary? Does it look spooky? It looks kind of sexual. This is turning out to be quite a sexy little book. Like, no sex scenes or anything, but it's quite sexual. You will understand what I mean by that if you read the book, or if you've read it already. But yeah, it's not like smutty or anything. It's just like kind of sexual. Anyways, update time. I'm on page 256, so I'm over halfway now. I think I have maybe like a third of the book left. And I'm still really enjoying it. I'm not gonna lie though, I checked how many pages it was. It's over 400 pages. I don't think it needs to be that long. Like, I feel like it could have had a bit of an edit. I'm not going to lie. Like, there are a few things where I'm kind of like, okay, like, let's pick up the pace. But apart from that, still really enjoying it. Don't know what the plot twist is gonna be, because you know, mystery thrillers, there's always a plot twist. I still really have no idea. So I'm excited to keep reading, and this is good because it makes me want to keep reading. But it is 7:46 right now. What do we have on the timer? Only 2 hours and 11 minutes. I feel like I've been reading for so much longer than that, but no, apparently I've only been reading for 2 hours and 11 minutes. What I'm gonna do now is I'm about to do some reading sprints with some friends. They have no idea that I'm doing this video, so surprise. But we're gonna do some reading sprints on Discord, and then after I do that, I'm probably gonna do like my skincare, take my makeup off, get a bit cozier. I definitely need to have a coffee at some stage if I'm gonna stay up all night and try and get scared. The sun's going down now, so like perfect vibes. I'm gonna keep reading this, and I will see you after some sprints. Guys, I'm fully in bed now. Skincare is done. I'm drinking a coffee to try to keep me up. As you guys saw, I finished the Paris apartment. I rated this 4 out of 5 stars. I think everything that I said about it before still remains true. Like, it definitely could have been done with an edit. The ending was really good. The plot twists were really good. There was one plot twist that I definitely didn't see coming, but I was like, okay, slay. And also I probably should have seen this like coming at the beginning. Like, it all makes sense, but I was an idiot, I guess. It's just a really solid thriller, and I really liked it. And I would say out of the 3 Lucy Foley books that I have read, this is definitely the best, and that's all I have to say. I'm gonna put you down now while I explain my next book, just because my arm is sore. Hang on. Anyway, I'm back to reading Night Bitch. I'm on page 130. It's nearly been 4 hours. It's 3 hours and 51 minutes. So basically now I'm just gonna like keep reading till I fall asleep. Like, I don't really see the point of me taking any more breaks until I fall asleep. It's like 11. Yeah, we'll see how we go. I at least want to finish this and start something new before I sleep, but this one is definitely a bit of a more of a slower read than the thriller was, as to be expected, just with the writing styles and everything like that. It's just ridiculous. So I've got my Pikachu with me. It's just ridiculous, the whole thing. Like, it's hilarious and it's good. It's not laugh out loud funny, but it's like when I'm reading it, I'm acknowledging that it's just absurd and bizarre. Like, basically at the moment now, our main character is like making friends with these other mums, and they're like trying to get her involved in some sort of like essential oils like pyramid scheme, but she's just like, I just want to be a dog. I just want to live my life as a dog. And I'm just like, you know what, in a sense I get it. I actually get it. You know, like, do I want to be a dog? No. But like everything that our main character is talking about, I'm like, yeah though. Yeah. Oh, I just want to mention one thing. If you can't handle like violence towards animals, maybe don't read it. But I think you should go in knowing that it's like animalistic violence towards animals, like animal on animal violence. But even then, it is kind of a little graphic, so if you can't handle that, maybe don't read that one. And then the same in the Paris apartment, not animal violence, but it's a bit fat phobic at times, and it is from a character who isn't supposed to be like nice and good, and I feel like it is not really a commentary on like the beauty standard and the pressure that like men put on women and the beauty industry in general. Like, I feel like it's not quite as sophisticated as that, but I will say the fat phobic comments do come from a character that's not supposed to be like a good person. However, there were kind of a lot, and so I feel like if that does make you feel like a little bit uncomfortable, don't pick this one up. Like, I'm not saying that it was like completely inappropriate and like so wrong and so clearly like the author's mindset. Like, it was obviously like from a character who we're not supposed to be agreeing with, but I know that like sometimes sentences can like that can be a little bit triggering to people, and so if it is, then like maybe don't read this one. Yeah, I just wanted to mention that because I think it's important to mention these things, you know. Anyways, I'm gonna keep reading Night Bitch. I probably won't have anything else to update before I finish it, so hopefully I'll finish it soon and I will update you. Okay, so I've woken up a little while ago, and I'm not gonna lie, because it's me. Obviously I fell asleep last night. Obviously I didn't finish this. Like, I had my coffee and immediately fell asleep. I don't know why. Coffee does the opposite to me than it should do. Like, I genuinely just start falling asleep. But I finally finished this morning, and also I'm an idiot. When I was like trying to stop my timer, I accidentally reset it. So now I've changed to this timer where it's like a countdown. So I have 18.5 hours left. All I'm gonna do today is just like read the whole time. I don't have anything else to do today. I have stuff to do tomorrow, but that's why I'm gonna just try to read as much as possible. If I have to read until like some of the morning tomorrow, that's fine. But yeah, I finished Night Bitch. I ended up giving this 3 out of 5 stars because like it was very entertaining, but like it's just too absurd. Yeah, one of the things that got me is like I would have, I think, liked it more if it was told in first person, but because it was third person, I felt really disconnected from it. But yeah, she turned into a dog. I don't know, it was funny and it was entertaining, but 3 stars. It didn't like blow me away or anything. But anyway, now, because that was so bizarre, I want to read something a little bit more straightforward today. So I think I'm gonna move on to one of the YA horrors. I think I'm gonna read The Devil Makes 3. Here's the picture again of the cover if you forgot from the intro. But yeah, this one's like about someone that works in a library and there's like evil things living in the pages. I just feel like that's fun and cute and horrifying. So I'm gonna get started on that. I will let you know how we go. Hello, good evening. So I am 30% of the way through The Devil Makes 3. I've read 100 pages of it. It's basically about this girl called Tess. She has a scholarship to this like fancy boarding school where she works at the library, and then there's this other guy who goes to the school. His dad's the principal. He hates his dad. His mum's dying of cancer, and he keeps going to the library to like check out all these grimoires and like books about magic because his mother like practiced witchcraft and he wants to get into it to try and figure out how to like save his mum or like cure his mum essentially. And so these two main characters are becoming like unlikely friends. Well, they kind of hate each other. I feel like this is going to be like a little mini enemies to lovers moment. Not sure how I feel about this sort of book having like a romance in it, but like I said, I'm only 30% of the way through, so we'll see how we feel when the romance starts, I guess. But at the bit that I've just gotten to, she's like helping him find more of the restricted books. Like in the restricted section, they find this crazy book which gave them like a vision of like them both like burning, and then they were like, oh my god, they thought that they were both like on fire. And so I think really weird scary shit is gonna happen from here. So far it's a pretty well told book. Like, it's, you know, like I said, I was looking for something straightforward, and I feel like the writing in this is super straightforward. Like, it's a YA, it's not difficult to understand, very easy to consume, which I think is just what I needed after Night Bitch. I'm not sure if I'll read it in its entirety, like front to back, without picking up something in the middle, just because I feel like I'm getting so tired. I need a page turner, I need a thriller, but it's okay. I'm gonna keep going with this. I'm gonna have a coffee to kind of like wake me up a little bit, and then I'll have a shower and continue with this. But yeah, it's pretty good so far. It's pretty good. I've never really heard anyone talk about it, which is so weird. I don't even know how I know about it or how it ended up on my Kindle, but here we are. The characters at the moment are okay. Tess is kind of annoying. She's really self-sacrificing, and that's a trait that I feel like a lot of protagonists have, but kind of, it really annoys me. Like, I don't know why, but a self-sacrificing main character is just frustrating. Like, she's given up so much of her life to like help her family, and it just annoys me. It just annoys me. Elliot seems okay. I feel like Jamie from like 2-3 years ago would be obsessed with him, but like right now I'm kind of just like, yeah, he's fine. I love that he's like practicing witchcraft to save his dying mother. It's like, yes king. But yeah, apart from that, that's really all I have to say. I'm gonna make my coffee now, and then we're gonna get back to reading. Okay, I've read more of this book. Jamie from 2 years ago is coming back in full swing because I'm obsessed with this character Elliot, and also the romance. The romance in this horror book. Why is it the most romantic thing I've ever read? The police are coming to get me because I'm about to commit a crime of passion that I feel towards this. When I picked up this book, I picked it up on a whim, but Elliot, it's like enemies to lovers. Boy falls first, like he's obsessed with her, and she's like, she doesn't even, there's not even like a hint of her being like, oh, like I can't stay away from him, but she like just straight up doesn't even like him right now. Like she's just like, what are you talking about? We're just like at the moment trying to deal with this like haunted demon book, and you're asking me to dinner? Like she's really like, and why am I obsessed with that? Like I know she's gonna like eventually fall in love with him, because why wouldn't she? He's perfect. But like that's so cute. I am gonna keep reading this. It's also quite scary, like because we get like Tess and Elliot like chapters, like so it's like it's not from their perspective because it's third person, but it's like obviously the focus is on those characters. And then there's like the chapters where it's kind of from the perspective of like the demon thing, I guess, but it's told in second person. And something about second person, really, that's when I know it's going to be a good book. That's when I know it's going to be a good book. So I'm really enjoying it right now. It also is quite scary for this YA horror. Like I am just as surprised as you are right now. Why is no one talking about this book? It is fantastic. Anyway, I'm going to have a shower, need to wash my hair, so I'm going to do that. Hopefully I don't get freaked out by demons when I'm in the shower and demon possession and evil grimoires. It's okay, it's gonna be a shower to wash my hair, and then I'm gonna come straight back to where I am and finish this book in one go because I'm quite obsessed. Good evening, guys. Okay, so I think I've got like 15 hours left on the clock. I don't have my phone with me right now, and I finally finished The Devil Makes 3. Not what I was expecting whatsoever. Like, I think I told you that before. Like, I was a little bit blown away. It's definitely not like a 5-star read. Like, it's not perfect. I think there is some issues with pacing towards the end of the novel. I got a bit bored during the action scenes, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I always kind of do get bored of the action scenes when it comes to YA, but I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5 stars. Like, it was actually really solid, and I think if you are just looking for like a fun, very scary book, maybe it's the atmosphere, like the fact that I'm completely alone right now, and you know, it's just that time of year. And then also I was like listening to like scary ASMR, which is literally just like thunderstorms basically. The fact that, like, I don't know, the atmosphere that I had created for myself made it just a bit more spooky, but it was actually quite scary, but it was good. Some of the imagery was a bit gross, like the descriptions, but I just think that's like a good writer, you know, that's just like an example of a good writer. Like, she managed to scare me. She managed to make me go like, ooh. I did look her up on Goodreads, and she actually released another novel earlier this year, so I'm definitely gonna check that out, I think. But yeah, this was just a really nice, pleasant surprise. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting to enjoy it this much. So yeah, I'm a bit tired, so I don't really have anything else to say about it. It was just like a solid horror. Anyway, because it kind of freaked me out a little bit, I think I'm now going to move on to The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson, just because I'm like vibing a mystery thriller now. Like I said before, this is about 2 people who meet in an airport and then decide to like do some killing. We follow Lily and Ted. So I'm gonna make a start on this and see how much I can read before I need to sleep. I can't believe I still have over 12 hours and I've already read 3 books. That's madness. Granted, I was already in the middle of one of them, but we're gonna see how much I can read in 24 hours. We'll see how we go. I'll let you know. Okay, it's Friday afternoon, guys. I just got back from doing an audition. Not as fun as it sounds, trust me. Doing auditions is the bane of my existence. What I have on the clock, 13 hours. If I press play and then do not stop, that takes us to 5:37 in the morning. So I'm sick of this challenge. I want to go back to living my normal life. I want to do things with my friends on Friday and Saturday, and my boyfriend gets back tomorrow and I want to hang out with him. So we're pulling an all-nighter. We're pulling an all-nighter. I think it helps that I'm really enjoying The Kind Worth Killing. I'm on page 103. Exactly what I said it was about. Like, the back basically told me the truth. Basically, we follow 2 different perspectives though. We follow Ted, whose wife is cheating on him, but he's like this super rich like tech guy. He witnessed his wife cheat on him. She's having an affair. So he meets Lily, and the story is also told from Lily's perspective, and he's basically like, I want to kill my wife, and Lily's like, I think you should. I think she sounds like someone who deserves to be killed. And they literally meet up and start putting this plan into motion. I'm finding Lily's perspective the most interesting because I find Lily a really interesting character. Like, in Lily's perspective, we're only hearing about her past. She grew up with like parents who are very, very sexually liberal, sexually open, would have like straight up sex parties, and Lily would be like 13 and like know what was going on and have to live through that, and they'd often just invite strangers to like live with them for periods of times. And one time there's this painter who's living with them who is highly inappropriate, like he is a disgusting man. And Lily goes into great detail about how she kills him and how that's the first person she has killed, and she doesn't feel bad about it. So I'm really enjoying Lily's perspective the most, because like she's just a very interesting character, whereas Ted, I'm kind of boring, no offense. I'm interested to see what happens with them in the present day. So I am really enjoying it. It's definitely a fast read, it's definitely a page turner, but I'm just gonna get cozy. I've got my grape juice when I bought this. I have more coffee. I bought an energy drink. I bought chocolate. I brought snacks. I'm not stopping this timer until we're finished reading. We're doing an all-nighter. These are gonna be famous last words. Like, I know I'm gonna fall asleep at midnight. This is my challenge to myself, okay? We are completing it tonight, doing the classic 24-hour readathon all-nighter, which I haven't done in so long. See you on the flip side. I've just reached the plot twist in this book, and it's like Gone Girl level plot twist. I just need to keep reading. I'm gonna keep reading. Now, I can't stop. It's not often that a book catches me off guard and I go like, but I'm sitting here in this apartment by myself. No one can see me. No one's witnessing my reactions. Literally just going like, I just needed to let you guys know that. Wow. Okay. So you know, when I'm in this position, I have finished a book, and this was fantastic. This was so good. I did not take a single break at all, except to film that like one clip, and also just to like have dinner, but I was still reading it as I was like eating my fucking curry. Like, yeah, okay. Also, I'm not sure if you can tell, but it's now like nighttime. Like it's nighttime now, so obviously it took me a little while. Like, it is over 400 pages, which is kind of unusual for most of the mystery thrillers that I read. Usually they're like quite short. Yeah, I'm hesitating to say that it could have been shorter, because like, yeah, like that's very, like, same with the Paris apartment. Like, it's very easy for me to say that like it could have had an edit, but like I feel like this needed to have everything that was in it, and there were so many things that were like wrapped up at the end that at times when I was reading them I was like, these are pointless. Like, why is this information in here? And then it got to the end, I was like, that's why, like, we needed that for the plot to progress. And I will say, I can see why some people would say that, like, because it's told in 3 parts, I can see why some people would say that like part 3 is kind of slow, because like objectively I was sitting there like, yeah, like I can see that people would think this. However, I loved it. I devoured every minute of it. The ending was like so flawless. Like, the last few sentences was so perfect. However, my heart breaks. And like, this is not the way that I wanted it to go. It reminds me of how I felt when I first watched La La Land, which is a completely different genre of anything. I remember when I first watched La La Land, I was like, that ending was perfect, but obviously I didn't want it to end that way. I wanted it to end a different way, but like how they did it was amazing. That's how I feel about this. Like, in my heart, I'm like, my heart is breaking. Like, I didn't want that thing to happen to that specific character, but in the way that it was just so good. But I also feel like the ending is fairly ambiguous. So in my head, I've just chosen to go with the more unlikely scenario. But I also recently found out that in March next year, there is a sequel to this coming out, following kind of a disgusting character, but I still want to read it because like most of the characters in here were disgusting. I'm just in shock. Like, I actually think I'm gonna give this 5 stars. And I don't give out 5-star ratings willy-nilly. Like, I'm also quite scared. Like, I'm looking over my shoulder like, oh my god, like, it's really set the mood for the evening. Oh my god, I don't know how the next book is going to live up to this, but I'm so excited that Peter Swanson has such a large backlist of mystery thrillers that I can now dive into. Like, I genuinely think mystery thrillers are my favorite genre. Like, I always say like romance and a bit of like literary fiction, but like the way I have been devouring these mystery thrillers is really something, and This just proves my love for the genre. I love it. I destroyed my copy. I'm not sure if you can see how disgusting that spine is, but the paperback was so stiff and I was just like, sorry guys. So you can see how many times I creased it, and now it's like so just, what is this? Anyways, I'm obsessed with this. I cannot wait to read more of Peter Swanson's books. It's 7:55, so yeah, 5 to 8, and it's just getting started. I have obviously paused the timer while I do this clip, but I think I'm gonna be going to like 6:30 a.m. Night is just getting started. I'm feeling energized, I'm feeling good. I am going to move on to The Only Good Indians, which is my last physical. Oh no, because I've got like 11 hours left. I'm not going to move on to this. I'm going to move on to one of the books on my Kindle, and I'm making the executive decision now that it is going to be one of the girls, that thriller that I got for free, and then I will finish with the physical book. I think I need to charge my camera battery, but I'm making the executive decision that I'm reading another mystery thriller. Let's do it. Okay, so I'm 37% of the way through one of the girls. It's 11:30 at night, and yeah, basically the story is about a woman called Lexi. She's getting married. Her best friend Bella organizes a hen stew in Greece, and there are 6 women there total, and they're all like friends of Lexi's, and we follow basically all 6 of their perspectives. So we get chapters with all 6 of them. With such a big cast of characters, I will say I feel like the author has done a really good job at like introducing all these characters and their backstories without it getting super confusing, which I think has been really good. A sign of a good writer. However, it's kind of boring. There are a few characters that have their secrets in classic like mystery thriller fashion, but we're not getting big enough hints. It's like really slowly being drip fed to us. I want to keep reading. I want to have that feeling where I can't put it down because I want to know what all these secrets are. But because it's only like the smallest hints, it's like, okay, cool. But it's not a bad book by any means. I think because in the synopsis it hinted that there was a dead body at some stage during the book. I think I figured out who that character will be. Like, if there's going to be a character that dies out of the 6, I feel like I figured out who that is, just because they've just made one character in particular be like kind of unlikable in a way that's more obvious than the other characters. Like, she's just super, oh god, what are the words, brash. She's super brash and super loud and like selfish, attention seeking, like all the things that people like to do to make women unlikable, even though they're not like super unlikable traits in real life. But yeah, I feel like that's where the story's going. I'm not sure though, I could be wrong, but I'm getting really tired. I don't even know why I tried to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pull an all-nighter. For me, the worst feeling in the world, like the worst physical sensation ever, is knowing that you really want to sleep and need to sleep and forcing yourself to stay awake. Like, that for me is like worse than any hunger, any like thirst, any too cold or too hot temperatures. Like, needing to sleep and forcing yourself not to is worse than all of those. I'll probably sleep soon, to be honest, and then just try and realistically do my timer tomorrow. Like, I'm gonna finish tomorrow, I've got stuff to do, but like, yeah, I've got like 8.5 hours on here still. I'm sticking to the all-in-one day 24-hour readathons. Like, that's what I'm doing next time, because I cannot do this timer thing. But I'm gonna go take all my makeup off, get cozy, maybe have a Diet Coke. I've got a Diet Coke in the fridge. I might drink that to just kind of be like, okay, cool, perk up, and then I'll just sleep when I want to. I will update you when I've read more of the book, but I'm gonna go get cozy now. Hello guys, good to see you again. It's now been the weekend and everything, and I've decided to actually give up. I'm so sorry, I have decided to give up. I feel really bad about it, but life just started getting in the way, and like I said in the previous clip as well, I think I am going to be retiring this particular idea. Like, I am going to be retiring the timer challenge and just sticking to doing regular 24-hour readathons like I always used to, just because I feel like it doesn't properly work for me. But yeah, don't worry, I still love doing 24-hour readathons, absolutely love them, but I will be going back to the normal way that I do them after like this one's done. Well, it is done now, like I'm giving up. But I want to quickly tell you that I did end up finishing One of the Girls by Lucy Clark. I gave it 3 stars. It definitely wasn't like bad, but it was just difficult to live up to some of the other thrillers that I had read. And this one wasn't like a huge thriller, like in the same sense of The Paris Apartment and The Kind Worth Killing. It really reminds me of like Big Little Lies, you know, like novels like that by like Liane Moriarty, which are a little bit more digestible, a little bit on the lighter side. Even though there is literally a tragedy that happens, the novel does feel like way more on the lighter side. Like when you're reading all the stuff before the climax, it feels just like 6 women hanging out and all of their like family dramas, and then it really ramps up at the end with like all the twists and everything. I thought it was like pretty good, and I would be really interested actually to read more novels by Lucy Clarke, but yeah, it wasn't really what I was expecting. Like it definitely wasn't scary and it wasn't super thrilling, but definitely like a good beach read for the summer. Like I feel like maybe I wasn't the target audience, but I read a lot of books where I'm not the target audience anyway, so I don't know, it was good. But yeah, let's wrap up everything I read in the 24-hour readathon. I started with The Paris Apartment, which I gave 4 stars, really enjoyed this. I finished Night Bitch by Rachel Yoder, which I gave 3 stars. It was just a bit too like wacky for me, but still like a pretty enjoyable read. I read The Kind Worth Killing, which was a 5-star read. Absolutely adored it, devoured it, you guys know. And if you're gonna take any recommendation from this video, like this one, make it this one. And then on my Kindle I read The Devil Makes Three by Tori Bovalino, I think it is. Yeah, this was 4 out of 5 stars, really solid YA horror. And then I also read One of the Girls by Lucy Clarke, which was a 3-star thriller. So that is all from me. I have such a huge week coming up, and I'm hopefully going to be filming a lot of videos, so I hope to see you again soon. Let me know in the comments below if you have read any of these books and if you enjoyed them, because I love to find like-minded people, and I also like to find people who aren't as like-minded. Like if you didn't enjoy any of these, if my opinion differs from you, let me know, because I love it. Let's have a debate. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have an amazing day, evening, afternoon, and I will see you very soon in the next one.